Diplomats from China, South Korea and Japan have pledged to resolve ongoing tensions between their countries. Foreign ministers from all three nations have been meeting in Beijing.
中方愿意同韩方和日方一道，不断地拓展和深化我们之间的合作，来共同维护多边主义和自由贸易，携手致力于地区乃至世界的和平稳定和发展繁荣。
この日中韓の3カ国はお互いに隣国同士であるがゆえに二国間の関係が困難に直面をすることもございます。しかしそんな中でもこの日中韓3カ国の協力はしっかりと進めていくべきだろうと思います。
삼국 협력이 양자 관계의 영향을 받지 않고 안정적으로 발전해 나가기 위해서는 다양한 삼국 간 협의의 내실화를 통해서 세 나라 국민들이 한일중 협력의 혜택을 실제 생활에서 체감할 수 있도록 만들어 나가야 할 것입니다. 이러한 측면에서 오늘 우리 세 장관이 삼국 간의 실질 협력 분야를 계속 발굴해 나가기로 한 것은 매우 의미가 있다고 하겠습니다.
Beijing has been pushing for closer relations with Tokyo after their ties deteriorated a few years ago over a territorial dispute in the East China Sea. Some of the islands there are controlled by Japan but claimed by China.
The trilateral summit also came amid escalating tensions between Japan and South Korea over export controls. Let's cross over to Olivia Seong in Beijing for more on the meetings. Olivia, why is this meeting between the three countries so significant?
Well, this is the first time in 3 years that such a meeting is taking place, but the timing is certainly a bit tricky given the recent tensions between Japan and South Korea. Now, this meeting was also supposed to pave the way for a leaders' summit to take place later this year between Chinese President Xi Jinping, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, as well as South Korean President Moon Jae-in. But we have not heard any further information on this potential summit later this year, and the last time that these three leaders met was last year after a 2.5-year hiatus. Now, this summit is supposed to be an annual affair, but in the past there have been several occasions when the summit was postponed due to tensions between the countries, whether over territorial or historical issues. But in recent times we have seen particularly China very eager to smooth over some of its differences with Japan and South Korea. Part of the reason being that it is currently engaged in a bruising trade war with the United States, which at the moment has shown no signs of abating just yet. And so China is hoping for there to be more cooperation with Japan and South Korea on the trade front. But beyond trade, spilling over to the security front, given that Japan and South Korea are main allies of the U.S., China has also at this meeting taken the opportunity to voice its opposition to U.S. plans to deploy land-based missiles in Asia. And we heard the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said that Japan, South Korea and China should play a leading and constructive role in terms of regional cooperation and on the security front as well.
Olivia, you mentioned there a lot, but we also know that relations between Japan and South Korea in particular are at one of the lowest points amid their wartime labor feud and obviously these export trade tensions. Did China say anything about that?
Right. Well, we heard from Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, and he called on Japan and South Korea to resolve their differences through dialogue. And he added that the three countries did agree to work together on a few things. Now, the first being that they agreed to work together to support free trade and regional growth. Secondly, the three countries reiterated their commitment to create a free trade zone between them. And thirdly, another thing that they agreed on was to conclude negotiations for the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership by the end of this year. Now, that referring to a trade pact involving 16 Asia-Pacific countries, including the 10 ASEAN states as well. And in spite of the tension the call from the Chinese foreign minister was for Japan and South Korea to maintain a constructive attitude. And then we heard from the Japanese foreign minister who said that, while two countries sometimes face certain difficulties, that South Korea, Japan, and China should still continue to work together on the trilateral front. From the South Korean foreign minister, while she did echo that view, she also did say that she hoped that the three countries would maintain fair and free trade in what was seen as somewhat of a veiled swipe at Japan. And we see that the tensions between Japan and South Korea currently are not showing signs of easing, with both sides unlikely are not showing signs that they are willing to make any compromises just yet. So in spite of these public statements of cooperation, it is likely to still be a rather rocky road ahead.
Thanks for that update. Olivia Song speaking to us from Beijing.